Hello and good day. I'd like to show you a couple of things that I've been using when I go shopping. So this is a respirator. It's a half face mask respirator, and it has a couple of filters. These are the P100 filters, which after use I spray down with a bottle of 70% alcohol. And I also have a pair of gloves, which I spray down, and some work glasses that have a rim around the top. I prefer to have something like that than the full face mask because sometimes I need to be able to read, and so I have my reading glasses, which I can quickly put on. So this is what I do to protect myself. In other situations, I also use a KN95 mask, which is also very quick to put on and take off. Anyway, what I'd like to do is share with you some information from Billy Meier. This is part 2 from December 15th. Useful tips to adhere to. So it goes as the following, and I will add my comments as I read from this information. It's entitled, "For personal protection against contagion, infection, and disease, the following measures should be observed and strictly adhered to." 1. It's an itemized list of 11 points. The first, wearing respirators when dealing with other persons and persons outside the personal, family, or group circle should be a matter of course as a responsible duty. 2. Handshaking, body touching, breathing on, coughing on, sneezing on is to be avoided. 3. Touching the eyes, nose, or mouth is to be avoided. 4. Washing hands thoroughly after contact with other persons, as well as after using sanitary facilities, should be as natural as washing hands after going to the washroom. 5. Intensive ventilation of living rooms, kitchens, workrooms, and all types of recreation and assembly rooms should be compulsory. 6. Visits to events of any kind are to be avoided, such as football events, then department stores, discotheques, inns, theaters, cinemas, houses of worship, markets, as well as any other kind of mass gatherings. 7. Used disposable handkerchiefs as well as used disposable respirators and disposable gloves should be disposed of correctly and safely. 8. Close contact with persons who may have contracted the coronavirus disease should be avoided. 9. All necessary precautions or possible segregation of persons suffering from the coronavirus disease should be explicitly observed and taken into account. 10. For persons suffering from fever, special pains, loss of taste, etc., it is recommended in their own personal interest to undergo a corona test and stay at home. In case of a positive test result, contact with other persons should be avoided immediately and thus further infections prevented. And final point is 11. Wearing an FFP respirator can prevent two things. In the last video, we talked about the different types of respirators, and the FFP is the European standard for respirators. There's the FFP1, 2, and 3, and 3 being the best. Okay, and that's equivalent to our N95s or P100s. So here it is. This is the last, this 11. Wearing an FFP respirator can prevent two things. Okay, so there are about 5 or 6 different little subpoints on this. A. On the one hand, wearing a high-quality FFP respirator effectively prevents a person infected by the coronavirus from ejecting macroscopic saliva droplets when speaking and from exhalation aerosols. Consequently, neither saliva droplets nor exhalation aerosols from the corona-infected persons get into the air and thus into the oral and nasal mucosa of other persons. B. On the other hand, wearing a high-quality FFP respirator effectively prevents healthy persons who are not infected by the coronavirus from ejecting macroscopic saliva droplets when speaking and from exhaling aerosols, so that neither saliva droplets nor exhalation aerosols enter the airways, and as a result, no infective transmission to other persons can take place. So I'm assuming that if you are healthy, but it could possibly be that you're asymptomatic. You don't know that you have it. If you're wearing the mask, at least you're not spreading it. C. Respiratory protection masks also serve to protect the wearer personally, as the mask separates a wide range of particles of all kinds from the air breathed. D. In contrast to unfit fabric-only masks, pocket, neck, and head scarves, paper masks, as well as unfit FFP1 masks, and simple mouth-nose protection, such as the face shields. The degree of separation of a good quality particle filtering FFP mask or the half masks is determined by standardized tests. And finally, E. Each person must be clearly aware that the coronavirus corresponds to a highly infectious moment where only a single virus is needed to be contagious. But two viruses can trigger an effective infection, cause disease, and lead to an outbreak. That's pretty incredible. One virus. One single microscopic virus. To prevent this, to a large extent, an FFP2 or the N95 respirator offers good protection in case of exposure. However, the FFP3 or the P100 respirators offer the best possible protection. However, respiratory masks do not provide complete protection against infection from viruses of all kinds, because even the FF3 masks can be no more than 95% safe. Even full-body protective suits and appropriately integrated respirators, which have to be cleaned again by chemical showers before they can be taken off, can only guarantee a final safety of 99% in the best case scenario. So there you have it. Anyway, hopefully these tips have been useful for you if you weren't already aware of them. It's pretty logical, and I will talk to you again. Stay safe. Thank you.